Hello, my name is Casper Hesp, and as Professor Sterken introduced me, I won the University of Groningen Excellence Award last year. I think you noticed that one of the most remarkable things about me is the strange combination of studies. So I combined two bachelors, Astronomy and Psychology, and the two questions that I get most from the people is, the first question is why? Why these topics? Why this connection? What is the connection? And the second question is how? Where do you get the drive from? And to the why, I often just say, because it interests me. But there's something more to it, of course. And let's take a look at this picture. If you ask about connections, well, you see a lot of them here. And one interesting connection I want you to see is the following one. These are actually two different things. So we see two webs, and of course, there are totally different forces at work here if you look at the physical part. But the connection that I found most interesting is the complexity. The complexity is really immense, and this brings me to the most important thing I learned to understand by studying these topics, is how little it is that we actually understand. That is the one thing that is actually most important to me, what I learned up till now. And this is actually the real why for me, is why would you study these topics? Because they learned me what we do not understand yet. And if I look back at my education, I see that the moments that I felt most deeply inspired by my teacher or lecturer were the moments when they would express what we do not know, what we do not understand. Those moments would inspire me to start thinking, you know? That's what you want for the students, that you want them to start thinking. So in those moments, I felt this feeling of being on a journey together, because I realized that we are not there yet, right? So this is an important part, because many students get the impression that sometimes that the lecturer is on top of the knowledge, is looking from above. But in those moments when we look at these challenges together, we really see that it's actually something we're doing together. We're still developing knowledge together. And this is something that, to realize this, the students can grow by realizing this, because many of them still, at least I see this around me, and people still experience this barrier. And by looking at these challenges together, this beauty, we can see that everyone becomes equal in a sense. Because if you don't understand, it's not like someone else is better at not understanding it. So we are all really equal in the face of those challenges. And that is what's important to realize, that it can create strong bonds. And this bond between student and teacher is actually the only one we have to really develop knowledge together. So this is important for me to have realized. And once I answer this why, the how doesn't seem so difficult anymore, because I see that this source to me has given shape to my whole scientific mindset, which helps me to look for a direction, you know, and also shapes the discipline that I have to work actually for it, to keep traveling. Because we are, like I said, it's like a journey you make together. And I think that this source is what all scientists draw from in their drive to go on, is to kind of understand a bit better what we do not know, what we do not understand. And we can point students to this source, and you know the saying, maybe, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And this is the same with the students, of course. They have to choose for it. But the least that can happen is to point them to it. And it is, I think, important to realize that during teaching, it's just as important to talk about the things we do not understand as to talk about the things we already understand a bit. And I think once you lead the students closer, you can give them a taste of this journey. And I think this whole thing about the bond between student and teacher, it's generally true for all differences in experience that there are, like between older and younger researchers. By realizing that we're still traveling together to develop our knowledge, we can strengthen bonds. And strengthening bonds between scientists is important to really to build something, to develop our knowledge together. And by this I wanted to give you a student's perspective on developing knowledge, and this source will keep inspiring me, I think, in the future, as it has done until now. So thank you for listening.